let me tell you some other things in case of perfect competitive firm. When we have like our profit, which is revenue minus cost, as already we done the process, when we are going to maximize this profit, so we need to take the partial derivative. So then the partial derivative of pi with respect to quantity, because we are maximizing our profit based on some level of quantity. So then is equal to the partial derivative revenue with respect to some quantity and minus the partial derivative of cost with respect to some quantity. And our first order condition should satisfy this one, which should be equal to 0. So it means this, the partial derivative of pi with respect to q should be 0. Then we have this equation, this part. Then the partial derivative of revenue with respect to the partial derivative quantity should be equal to the partial derivative of cost with respect to quantity. And we know that the partial derivative of revenue with respect to quantity is marginal revenue. So then the marginal revenue is equal to the partial derivative of cost with respect to quantity is our marginal cost. So in order to maximize our profit, the marginal revenue should be equal to the marginal cost. Should be equal to the marginal cost. And also, this revenue is equal to price multiplied by the quantity that we produce. By the quantity that we produce. And also, when we are talking about perfect competitive producer, the price is giving already for the perfect competitive producer. Then our revenue should be just a function of Q because the price is already given. So we can write down revenue as a function of Q, which is equal to P multiplied by Q. P multiplied by Q. So now, if we take the derivative of this revenue with respect to Q, which is like the partial derivative of R, Q with respect to Q, will be equal to what? If you take the derivative of this part with respect to Q, what will remain? P. So then, let me use some different color. Here, already we know that the partial derivative of revenue with respect to Q is what? Is the marginal revenue. So then the marginal revenue is equal to P. When the marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost and also marginal revenue is equal to P, then the marginal cost should be equal to P. The marginal cost should be equal to P. So this is the profit maximization condition for the perfect competitive firm. It will not work for other firms. For monopoly and oligopoly, they have different conditions, because in oligopoly and monopoly, they have market power. And they try to set their prices more than marginal revenue, more than marginal cost. But in case of perfect competitive, the profit maximization condition is this one. That the marginal revenue is equal to the marginal cost and is equal to the price. Is equal to the price. So this is the condition for profit maximization in the case of perfect competitive firm.